First at noon, ahead of what could be a dangerous fire season, state and county officials are urging the public to be prepared. The State Land Department kicked off its 10th annual wildfire and drought lookout campaign with a news conference today on Kauai. The National Weather Service, Kauai Fire Department, and other experts are reminding the public that the threat of wildfires will increase during the dry season. They also have tips on how you can prepare ahead of a wildfire emergency.
Once the winds reach speeds of 40 to 100 miles an hour, it is like a tsunami of fire. No amount of firefighters, helicopters can put those fires out. So the more we could be conscious in our neighborhoods and keeping our houses clean and free of debris by starting a FireWise group. Information, you can get that through our fire department. We can collectively build our neighborhoods to become fire-wise and fire-smart and prevent.
It's also one of the few things that we actually can do something about. It's not like other natural hazards. Fire only travels where there is fuel, and we can reduce the fuel. We can get better prepared. We can have go bags.
KFD also spoke about how their budget this year includes a new twin-engine helicopter for firefighting, which will have the ability to drop up to 400 gallons of water. The department is also getting 4 more fire engines and 6 brush trucks. And officials say you can prepare for the dry season and take action now by trimming brush around your home and create a fire defensible space. Make sure to report any wildfires you see to your local fire department and stay vigilant ahead of the upcoming dry season. Meanwhile, on Maui, the county says the Kahikinui brush fire is now 95% contained after scorching about 330 acres in 2 days. The fire is not threatening any homes and there are no evacuation orders in place, but Maui police have been closing Pi'ilani Highway off and on as firefighters batter the blaze. And on Oahu, it's day 4 of a brush fire still spreading at Schofield Barracks. The military released new images and said the fire that began Sunday has burned at least 570 acres and is only 50% contained. At least 2 helicopters conducted water drops yesterday. The military says the cause is still unknown. At least 2 women are dead and 3 others injured following a head-on crash in the Punalu'u area. It happened at around 9 o'clock last night near the intersection of Kamehameha Highway and Puhuli Street. Police tell us a 28-year-old woman was driving southbound with 3 other people when she crossed the line and slammed into a 17-year-old driver. The woman's vehicle flipped and ejected all 4 people inside. None of them were wearing seatbelts. The driver and one of her 19-year-old passengers died at the scene. The other passengers were rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Now, the 17-year-old driver was taken to the hospital in good condition. Investigators believe speed played a role, but it's still unclear if drugs or alcohol were factors too. This is the 35th and 36th traffic fatalities this year, compared to 15 at the same time last year. Happening today, the Honolulu Police Commission is expected to appoint HPD's new interim chief. The commission will meet at 2 p.m. at HPD's Alapai headquarters to make their decision ahead of Chief Joe Logan's retirement on June 30th. We're told there are 8 applicants. Mayor Rick Blangiardi endorsed Hawaii County Police Chief Ben Moskowitz to serve as interim chief after Logan announced earlier this month that he's stepping down. Retired FBI Special Agent Tommy Ayu is also one of the applicants who applied for the position. Logan's retirement comes as HPD faces severe staffing shortages with nearly 650 officer and civilian vacancies as of June 1st. The commission will also discuss the selection process to find a permanent chief. Well, more pushback against a plan to build about 150 homes on Oahu's North Shore. The Haleiwa Backyards development would sit on a 7-acre parcel in between Kamehameha and Joseph P. Leong highways. The 2-bedroom units are meant to be long-term rentals. About a third of the homes would be affordable, with monthly rents from $2,500 to $3,800. The rest would be market rate. Some residents say the homes are not worth the added gridlock in a small town that's already overwhelmed by traffic.
With how bad traffic is, I feel like a prisoner in my own backyard, and I'm sure most North Shore residents and locals do too.
I don't go to Haleiwa as a resident. like she said, after 10:30 in the morning. And I don't go there certainly after 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I may have to plan my life around traffic.
Not everyone is against the idea. The Carpenters Union says construction workers from the North Shore want a project nearby. The development site, though, is zoned for agriculture. That means the City Council would have to pass a bill to reclassify the land for urban use. Planning officials support the zoning switch and created conditions for the developer to follow. In a landmark decision, a divided U.S. Supreme Court has upheld a Tennessee law restricting some medical treatments for transgender minors. Now, the law was challenged by the Biden administration and 3 families. Bradley Blackburn reports. I'm sorry, we are not ready for that. We're going to do this instead. So it is day 2 of the Los Angeles Rams minicamp on Maui. And today fans were invited to join in on the action. Let's actually send it over to Kyle Chinen, who is live in Wailuku with more. Hey, Kyle.
Hey, how's it going, Ash? Aloha, everyone. Coming to you from Wailuku, Maui, here at War Memorial Stadium. They're actually getting ready behind me for the NFL Play 60 Day with a bunch of kids. But yeah, it was a great day. The second and final practice for the Los Angeles Rams here in Maui. And it was another practice of no helmets, no shoulder pads, but the fans definitely got a good taste of the action, getting to see some of the stars. Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua was a big hit. He was the rage with all of the fans. Now, there are thousands of people lining the stands here at War Memorial Stadium. And, you know, I talked to a lot of them when I got to the stadium this morning to do sunrise, and some of them were waiting in line to get into the parking lot at 5 a.m.
I wanted to be here early just to beat the crowd because, you know, it's a big event here. So, you know, we figure we want to be a step ahead of the other people want to come in early.
And because we're Rams fans, we want to be first.
I want to learn like catching, speed, and agility.
It's awesome and cool that they came to do this for us. So thank you guys.
Definitely a fun day for all ages. Now, the Rams, yeah, like I said, they have one more activity here. It's the NFL Play 60 Day, and then that'll do it for the 2025 Rams Maui camp. Now, it's only set, the contract is only 1 year, but the team has told me and other reporters that they want to come back for years to come. That's the latest here. Reporting live from Wailuku, Maui. It's a very bright and sunny day. Now, speaking of the weather, Drew Davis has your first alert weather forecast. Cool. Thank you.
Well, happy Wednesday, everybody. I'm filling in for Guy Hoggy this morning. This is what we're tracking in our first alert weather forecast going forward. We've got breezy trade winds out there. Some windward clouds and showers are possible, but most of the island chain will be mostly sunny out there and dry. And dry and stronger trade winds are expected this weekend. You can see that in our first alert 7-day forecast. Slightly weaker winds expected for Thursday and Friday. Those winds will get stronger heading into the weekend.
Thank you, Drew. On the 6th day of conflict between Israel and Iran, President Trump is weighing his options. Now, he said he is losing his patience with Iran as he considers whether to join Israel's airstrikes on Iran's nuclear sites. Tarian Small has more from the White House.
President Trump says he's still trying to decide whether U.S. forces will join Israel in carrying out airstrikes on Iran.
I may do it, I may not do it. I mean, nobody knows what I'm going to do. I can tell you this, that Iran's got a lot of trouble.
The president, speaking Wednesday with new flagpoles going up at the White House, said he's considering deploying B-2 bombers with bunker buster bombs to help take out Iranian nuclear facilities located deep underground.
We're looking for a long time. Yeah. We're looking. I only want one thing. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
While the president deliberates, all parties seem to be bracing for an escalation. CBS News has confirmed reports that Iran is readying missiles and equipment for strikes on U.S. bases in the region as possible retaliation. The Pentagon is also deploying more planes, with a third aircraft carrier headed to the area soon.
My question for you is whether you have been asked actively to provide options for the president regarding a strike in the Middle East.
My job, our job, Chairman and I, at all times, is to make sure the president has options and is informed of what those options might be.
With Iranian missiles cutting through Israeli defenses, the U.S. ambassador there announced the government is working on flights and cruises to evacuate Americans who want to leave the country. President Trump is also calling for the unconditional surrender of Iran. The nation's supreme leader, he says Iran will never surrender. Torian Small, CBS News, the White House.
Now to that landmark decision, a divided U.S. Supreme Court has upheld a Tennessee law restricting some medical treatments for transgender minors. The law was challenged by the Biden administration and 3 families. Bradley Blackburn has more.
In a major case, the Supreme Court considered a Tennessee law passed in 2023 prohibiting treatments like puberty blockers, hormone therapy, and some surgeries for transgender minors. 26 other states have laws with similar restrictions on gender-affirming care. Tennessee claimed it has, quote, a compelling interest in encouraging minors to appreciate their sex, particularly as they undergo puberty. But opponents have argued the treatments are life-saving for teens diagnosed with gender dysphoria. Samantha Williams' daughter is one of the children at the center of the case. She spoke to CBS last year.
I can't imagine her not on her medicine. She's a different kid. She's a healthier, happier kid.
In a 6-3 decision, the U.S. Supreme Court said Tennessee's law does not violate equal protection guaranteed by the 14th Amendment. Chief Justice John Roberts wrote for the majority, quote, our role is not to judge the wisdom, fairness, or logic of the law before us. We leave questions regarding its policy to the people, their elected representatives, and the democratic process.
This now allows states to make the determination as to whether or not they will bar transgender minors or anyone, to the court's point, from obtaining certain medical treatment for gender transition therapy.
Dissenting, Justice Sonia Sotomayor wrote that with the decision, quote, the court abandons transgender children and their families to political whims. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Ahead on This Is Now, tragedy in the culinary world with the sudden death of celebrity chef and Food Network star Anne Burrell. Plus, a plan to shake up the Honolulu City Council's leadership draws hundreds of opponents. We'll tell you why they're so upset about the changes in 2 minutes. A city council leadership shakeup orchestrated by Chair Tommy Waters is complete. The vote went through yesterday afternoon, but as Daryl Huff reports, critics accused Waters of being vindictive and prejudiced.
In many years covering the city council, I have never seen so many people so passionate about who would be the vice chair of the council. And it was emotional and personal with lots of testimony on both sides. But in the end, Tommy Waters was reelected the chair with his selected leadership group. Now let's take a look at how we got here. After a 5-4 vote to raise sewer fees 2 weeks ago, when the council sided with Budget Chair Tyler Dos Santos Tam over a proposal by Chair Tommy Waters, Waters organized a move to replace Vice Chair Matt Wire with veteran West Oahu Council member Andrea Tupola and replace Floor Leader Radiant Cordero with Windward Council member Esther Kia Aina. It's also widely expected that Dos Santos Tam will also lose his powerful budget chair. What Waters probably didn't anticipate was the reaction of the LGBTQ community, because he would be demoting 2 gay men during Pride Month, when the LGBTQ community is particularly sensitive to any sign of discrimination or reduced gender diversity, and many didn't believe longtime Republican Andrea Tupola would support their agenda.
There are a lot of things said about me, and I think as a leader, it's so good for me to hear it. I need to hear both sides of everything. I will continue to support diverse voices that make up our communities, including the LGBTQIA+ community. I remain committed to collaborating with this council because that's the only way we move forward.
My colleagues have supported these policies. Honestly, to suggest this leadership proposal has anything to do with targeting someone that identifies as LGBTQ is offensive.
For those that support this resolution, just ask yourself here, how long until Chair Waters determines that it is in his best political interest to turn on you?
Usually when there's a leadership change like this, they will also change the committee chairmanships, and that's when Dos Santos Tam might lose his position as well. And it's a crucial time, and that may have more impact on the council's operations even than this leadership change, which is largely symbolic. Reporting from Honolulu, Hawaii, Daryl Huff, Hawaii News Now.
Pouring in for a beloved chef and TV personality. The Food Network's Anne Burrell died yesterday at her home in Brooklyn. She was just 55 years old. Vladimir Duthier looks back at her remarkable career.
Wow. Are you together with Erica and the Olive Oil Consortium?
Anne Burrell is probably best known as the host for Food Network's cooking competition, Worst Cooks in America, a show she hosted for more than a decade.
That's the sound of my hopes and dreams disappearing.
Always sporting an unforgettable spiky blonde hairstyle, on camera she was bold, sassy, and unapologetic.
Come on, turn it over at least.
Burrell grew up in central New York and attended Canisius College in Buffalo. She later went to the Culinary Institute of America and also studied cooking in Italy. As for embarking on her career in gastronomy, she says she was inspired by her mother's cooking and by the late, great Julia Child.
And I just was mesmerized by the cooking. I also loved, like, you know, with her flipping her mashed potatoes, you know, or potato cake and saying, you must do this with confidence.
After several years of working in restaurants, she began her television career. Burrell first appeared as a sous chef to Mario Batali on Iron Chef America, and eventually was offered her own show on the Food Network, Secrets of a Restaurant Chef.
Linguine and clam sauce, one of my really happy favorites.
She was a staple in celebrity chefdom, making appearances with other big names like Rachel Ray, Bobby Flay, and Robert Irvine, just to name a few.
Anne was such a strong human being, stronger than anybody I've known. I'm like tearing up right now.
A huge loss to him personally. Irvine says her death is a loss to many others.
I said, you're the most amazing human being that I've ever met that teaches people that you don't know, and they follow through. But all the rough exterior that we all have, she was a great human being here. It's a big loss for me.
Vladimir Duthier, CBS News, New York.
Now, First Alert Weather with Drew Davis.
Wednesday, everybody. Let's break down our First Alert weather headlines again. We've got breezy trade winds out there, very summer-like pattern, a few windward clouds and showers, but overall, not much rainfall is expected across the state. Dry and stronger trade winds are expected this weekend. And let's just take a quick glimpse at our First Alert island by island forecast. This is for the rest of Wednesday. Spotty showers and mostly sunny conditions expected over on Kauai. Some wind gusts getting closer to 20 miles per hour. A few pop-up showers are possible over the leeward portions of Kauai today. Here on Oahu, mostly sunny and breezy. 87 in town, 86 in Kapolei, 82 in Kaneohe. East-northeasterlies between 15 to 20 miles per hour. Moving over to Maui County, sunny and breezy. Some wind gusts getting closer to 25 miles per hour. 88, a little bit warm in Kahului today. 86 in Kihei. Some leeward showers are possible throughout this afternoon. Kailua Kona, some afternoon showers are possible. Mostly sunny, southerly winds around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And spinning around to the Hilo side, partly sunny and northeasterlies between 5 to 15 miles per hour. A little bit breezier expected on the northern portion of Hawaii Island. Again, some wind gusts getting closer to potentially even 25 miles per hour. Just going forward in our First Alert windcast, you can see as we're going into tomorrow morning around 4 a.m., we're seeing relatively breezy winds for that time of the day and expecting much stronger winds throughout the afternoon. Our First Alert futurecast going forward, like I mentioned, not much rainfall is expected in the forecast. Some passing showers. Overall rainfall totals will be relatively minor. This is a Wednesday around 10 p.m. A couple of overnight showers are possible going into Thursday afternoon. Really not much rainfall out there. Our surf and shoreline forecast, north and west facing shores relatively small. South facing shores seeing a small bump because of a small south swell building in. East facing shores still rough and choppy because of our breezy trades. This forecast is for Wednesday afternoon. We're also tracking Hurricane Eric out in the eastern Pacific. It's a Category 1 as of the recording of this forecast, and it's going to be a Category 2, potentially getting downgraded again to a Category 1 before it makes landfall out over the southern portions of Mexico. Here's our 7-day forecast. Again, slightly weaker trade winds expected on Thursday and Friday. Saturday and Sunday, we'll see those trade winds get a little bit stronger, and we'll be seeing mostly dry conditions over the weekend. 87 to 88 degrees for high temperatures going forward.
good news. There has been a prank out there for a while where a group of women tricked their significant others into wearing the same shirt to an event. Now, a North Texas mother organized a shirt prank involving 200 dads for Father's Day. Amelia Mugavero has the story.
I had this, what I like to call a Holy Spirit idea.
For Kristen Combo, it all started as a simple idea to prank a group of dads to wear the same shirt on Father's Day at their church at St. Anne's Catholic Parish in Coppell.
Then everybody started telling everybody, and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Combo got all the moms to present the pillows as a sweet Father's Day gift and wear it to church. All they had to do next was wait for their unknowing husbands to figure it out.
That's awesome. I love it. I understand you have some responsibility. Dude, nice shirt.
Yeah, the plan worked perfectly. More than 200 dads all showing up to Sunday Mass in the same bright blue attire. Combo posting it to Instagram, and in less than 24 hours, the reel has been viewed millions of times across the world.
Did you ever expect it to become as viral as it has in 24 hours?
No. I think that people just want wholesome content, and then also seeing men be really amazing fathers.
You're kidding me. That is brilliant.
Jake Kaufman was one of the Duke dads and says the stunt made his Father's Day even more special.
It was just kind of one of those, like, yeah, it was like, I think we all had the, like, we just got, like, pranked by our wives. Being able just to see, like, everybody joyful and laughing and just, like, kind of brought that little bit of joy that we needed for Father's Day.
It's so cool to see that how the Lord works and how he works with a sense of humor.
In Coppell, Millie McGalvero, CBS News, Texas.
And thanks for watching. This is Now. We leave you with a live look outside at Aloha Tower. More news first at 4 right here on KHNL. Aloha.